The guitar is a popular musical instrument classified as a pluck string instrument, or chordophone, which produces sound by creating a vibration of the strings. They can have up to 18 strings depending on the type of guitar, but most only have 6. The sound is produced by creating vibration in the hollow body of an acoustic guitar or through an amplifier for an electric guitar. The guitar is traditionally made of wood and strings of gut, nylon, or steel. Unlike hollow-bodied acoustic, electric guitars typically have a solid body to prevent feedback. The strings are strummed or plucked using the fingers or a pick, and notes are achieved by pressing the strings against the fret on the neck of the instrument. The most common type of musical notation used for the guitar is tablature. Unlike typical Western musical notation which shows the notes on a staff, tablature shows the position of the fingers and the corresponding strings that should be plucked. Originating in Spain, the guitar is one of the most widely used instruments in popular music throughout the world. The acoustic guitar has influenced many musical genres, including jazz, Western and Indian classical, mariachi, blues and folk. Additionally, the advent of the electric guitar and its loud, powerful sound was instrumental in the development of rock, blues, and pop music. Unlike many string instruments, the guitar can have countless variations and modifications, making it popular in almost any genre. The guitar had many chordophone precursors, including the lute and the viola, and its exact origin is unknown. In 12th century Europe, the word guitar described any string instrument with a long neck, frets, flat sound forward and back, and curved insides. However, a single instrument being referred to as a guitar began in Spain around the same time period. The next few centuries saw modifications to the design of the instrument until a likeness of the modern guitar emerged in 16th century Spain. Early guitars varied in the number and tuning of strings until the emergence of the classical guitar in the 19th century. Replacing the popular practice of several double strings was 6 single strings tuned to EADGBE, which is still the standard Western tuning. It was during this time that the body of the guitar changed as well, becoming broader and shallower, which increased the richness of the sound. The electric guitar emerged in the 1930s, originally designed by acoustic guitar makers. There were, and still are, multiple adaptations of the electric guitar created all over the world, but the first electric guitar to gain any popularity was the electric Spanish guitar developed by Gibson in 1936. Outside of the standard acoustic and electric guitars, there are many different types and subtypes of guitars popularized in today's music. Classical Spanish guitars differ from standard acoustic by being strung with nylon strings and plucked by fingers. They also feature a wider, flatter neck that allows the musician to play complex notations more easily. The standard Spanish guitar was invented by Antonio de Torres Jurado in the 1800s and still uses the same design. Flat-top guitars, also called steel guitars, typically have a larger body and a reinforced neck meant to hold the stronger steel strings. The instrument produces a brighter, louder tone and is popular in Hawaiian, folk, country and Hindustani classical music. These guitars may also be played with metal or glass slides. Arch-top guitars also use steel strings and have a curved top featuring F-holes. This type of guitar was influenced by the violin and produces a fuller sound. Arch tops come in both electric and acoustic and are popular in contemporary jazz and country music. Dobros are named for their inventor, John Dopura, and were created in the early 20th century. The guitar is similar to flat-top acoustic guitars, but the body includes brass, silver, or steel in addition to wood. The resonator is typically made from aluminium and they produce a very loud sound without the use of an amplifier. Popular in blues music, this guitar is typically played face up on the lap of the musician with a metal or glass slide. The 12-string guitar has 6 sets of double strings, made in the style of the mandolin. While not as popular as the 6-string standard, both acoustic and electric versions of the 12-string are popular in folk, blues, and rock music for its chime-like sound. Bass guitars are a popular accompaniment to the standard guitar, with both acoustic and electric versions. They're usually larger than a standard guitar and have only 4 strings, tuned an octave below the 6-string guitar. Smaller guitar-like instruments share many similarities with the standard guitar, including shape and dimensions. However, each has specific differences that produce a multitude of sounds. There are countless guitar playing techniques, from popular to individual, and many that are specific to musical genres. Below is a selection of some of the most widely used playing techniques and guitar terminology for beginners. Fingerstyle is one of the most broadly accepted alternate playing techniques. In place of plucking or strumming the strings with a pick, fingerstyle involves playing the instrument by plucking the strings with the fingertips, fingernails, or picks that are directly attached to fingertips. This style is typically used to play faster or more complex styles of music. Percussive playing is another popular technique used in many genres. This style simply uses the body of the guitar as a percussion instrument by tapping or striking the instrument with different parts of the hand to affect different sounds. Hammer-on and pull-off are two techniques that are directly opposite of each other. Hammer-on means to place a finger on the board behind a fret to sound a note instead of plucking the string. Pull-off is to pluck a fretted string and then immediately lift the finger off the neck. Both techniques produce a smoother sound than achieved from plucking a note. Tapping is similar to the above techniques but is used consistently instead of for occasional effect. Both hands are used on the neck to push the strings into the fretboard to cause vibration instead of plucking or strumming on the body. Tapping is most popular on the electric guitar. Bar chords are produced by using fingers or an object to press down all of the strings along a single fret. This technique allows the player to produce a chord that is restricted by the open string tuning of the instrument. The pitch produced by the guitar depends on the notes that the strings are tuned to. The strings of a guitar are stretched from the tuning pegs at the top of the neck to the resonator located on the body. Tightening a string causes the pitch to be higher and loosening it causes the pitch to be lower. The 6-string guitar has a standard tuning of EADGBE, which is what is used for most modern tablature and music. However, the guitar is considered a transposing instrument, which means tablature doesn't always correspond to notes played. Since the guitar is a popular instrument for improvisation and learning by ear, there is a large variety of alternate and improvised tunings. Open tuning, for example, is when the strings are tuned to a specific chord when strummed without any fingers on the fret. The strings of the guitar can also be tuned to the standard of another instrument, like the violin or the sitar. Some playing techniques even involve changing the tuning of the strings while playing. A guitar is a musical instrument with strings that you can play by strumming, picking, or pressing down on the strings to make sounds. When you pluck or strum the strings, they vibrate and create sound waves. These sound waves travel through the hollow body of the guitar, which acts like a resonating chamber, amplifying and shaping the sound. The vibrations are then transmitted through the neck of the guitar and into the air, producing the beautiful music we hear. Guitars can be acoustic, which means they make sound without needing electricity, or electric, which uses pickups to convert the vibrations into electrical signals that are then amplified through speakers. Whether acoustic or electric, guitars are loved by musicians and audiences alike for the wide range of sounds they can produce. Now, let's jump into the anatomy of a guitar and terms you need to know. The headstock is found at the end of the neck, like the guitar's head. It's where you'll see the tuning pegs or machine heads, which you use to make the strings tighter or looser to get the right sounds. It's a bit like tuning a radio to find your favorite station. Sometimes, the headstock also has the name of the guitar brand written on it, like a sort of badge. So, it's not just for tuning, it's also like the guitar's own little name tag. Tuning keys, also known as tuning pegs or machine heads, are small knobs located on the headstock of the guitar. They're attached to gears that adjust the tension of the guitar strings when you turn them. By tightening or loosening the strings with these keys, you can change the pitch of each string to make sure the guitar is in tune. It's like turning the knobs on a toy to tighten or loosen strings until they sound just right. Each string has its own tuning key, and by carefully adjusting them, you make sure your guitar sounds harmonious and ready to play beautiful music. The nut is a tiny part that hangs out between the headstock and the neck of the guitar. It's often made from stuff like bone or other strong materials. Think of it like a little bridge that guides the strings to where they need to go on the headstock. You know how your shoelaces go through the holes on your shoes? Well, it's a bit like that, but for guitar strings. This little piece is super important because it helps keep the strings in line and at the right height. Just like how the right shoes make walking easier, the nut makes sure your guitar strings stay in tune and play nicely. The neck of a guitar is like its long arm that reaches out from the body. It holds up the fretboard, where you press down the strings to make different sounds. This part is where all the magic happens. You see, it's got these little metal bars called frets that help create different notes when you press the strings against them. How comfortable the guitar feels in your hands depends a lot on the neck's shape and size. So, when it comes to playing, the neck plays a huge role in how easy or hard it is to strum your favorite tunes. Frets are like little metal lines that sit on the fretboard, spaced out just right. They're kind of like markers that help you know where to press down the strings to make different sounds. You see, when you press a string behind a fret, it makes the string shorter, which changes the sound it makes. It's like pressing a button to make a toy car go faster. The way these frets are laid out also affects how well the guitar stays in tune and how long it is from one end to the other. So, frets are like the secret helpers that make sure your guitar sounds just right when you play it. The fretboard, also called the fingerboard, is like a smooth, flat road on top of the neck of the guitar. Usually, it's made from wood, like the same kind they use to make furniture. Picture a smooth piece of wood where you put your fingers when you play guitar. Now, it's got these little metal lines called frets all along it. When you press the strings down behind these frets, it changes the sound the string makes. It's a bit like changing gears on a bike, each fret is like a different gear, giving you different notes when you press down. So, the fretboard is where you do all the fancy finger work to make music on the guitar. Position markers are small dots or shapes typically found on the fretboard of a guitar. They serve as visual guides to help players navigate the fretboard and locate specific frets or positions while playing. Common positions for markers include the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, and 12th frets, although they can vary depending on the guitar's design. The body of a guitar, typically made from wood, serves as the central structure housing the components responsible for producing sound. Its shape and size significantly impact the guitar's tone and resonance. Various body styles, such as dreadnought, concert, jumbo, and classical, offer different sound characteristics. For instance, the dreadnought produces a powerful, booming sound suitable for strumming chords, while the classical guitar delivers mellow tones ideal for fingerstyle playing. Understanding these distinctions helps players choose a guitar that aligns with their musical preferences and playing style. Strings are the heart of the guitar, running from the headstock, over the neck and fretboard, and down to the bridge on the body. They're made from nylon or metal and vibrate when you pluck, strum, or pick them, producing the guitar's sound. The guitar usually has 6 strings, but some types have more or less, each one tuned to a specific note. When you press down a string at different frets, it shortens the vibrating length, creating a range of musical notes and melodies. Strings are like the guitar's voice, allowing it to sing, whisper, roar, or cry, depending on how you play them. The pickguard is like a shield made of plastic or something similar that goes on the body of the guitar under the strings. It's there to keep the guitar safe from any scratches or marks when you strum or pick the strings. Imagine it's like a superhero's armor, protecting the guitar from harm while you're playing. So, the pickguard isn't just for looks, it's like the guitar's own bodyguard, keeping it safe from any accidental bumps or scrapes. Located on the body of an acoustic guitar, the sound hole serves as a vital opening that allows the sound produced by the strings to escape outward. It's like a window that lets the music out into the world. This opening is crucial because it helps the guitar to be louder and creates a fuller, richer sound. Without the sound hole, the guitar's sound would be quieter and more muted. Additionally, the size and shape of the sound hole can affect the guitar's tone and resonance, just like how changing the size of a window can affect the amount of light that comes into a room. So, the sound hole isn't just a simple opening, it's a key part of what makes the guitar sound the way it does. Pickups are like little magnets on electric guitars that can feel when the strings move. They turn these movements into electricity, which then gets made louder by an amplifier. It's kind of like how a microphone listens to your voice and makes it louder through speakers. These pickups are really important because they help give the guitar its special sound. Depending on the pickup, the guitar can sound bright and twangy or smooth and mellow. So, pickups aren't just magnets, they're like the ears of the guitar, helping it sing its own unique song. The pickup selector switch is a control found on electric guitars that allows players to choose between different pickups or combinations of pickups. Each pickup captures the sound of the strings in a unique way, and the selector switch enables players to access various tonal options to suit their preferences or playing style. This switch is commonly positioned near the guitar's bridge or on the guitar's body within easy reach of the player's picking hand. Volume and tone controls. On electric guitars, you'll often find knobs or switches called volume and tone controls. These let you change how loud the guitar is and what it sounds like. It's a bit like adjusting the volume and bass on a stereo to make the music sound just right. These controls are super handy because they let you tweak the sound to fit whatever kind of music you're playing. So, they're not just buttons, they're like the DJ's tools, letting you fine-tune your guitar's sound to match your style. The saddle is a small component located on the bridge of the guitar. It serves as a support for the strings and helps to maintain their proper spacing and alignment. The saddle also plays a crucial role in transferring the vibrations of the strings to the guitar's body, contributing to the instrument's overall tone and resonance. In some guitars, the saddle can be adjusted to fine-tune the string height, intonation, and overall playability of the instrument. The bridge is like a little platform on the body of the guitar where the strings hang out. It helps keep them in place and makes sure their vibrations travel through the guitar's body to make sound. It's a bit like how a drum makes noise when you hit it. Sometimes, the bridge has slots where you can adjust how high the strings sit and how well they stay in tune. So, the bridge isn't just a place for the strings to hang out, it's like the stage where all the action happens, making sure your guitar sounds its best. The output jack is a socket or receptacle found on electric guitars that allows the electrical signal produced by the pickups to be transferred to an amplifier or other audio equipment. When a cable is plugged into the output jack, it establishes a connection between the guitar and the external device, enabling the amplified sound of the guitar to be heard through speakers or headphones. The output jack is a crucial component for electric guitarists, as it facilitates the transmission of their music to an audience or recording device. Conclusion: understanding the anatomy of a guitar and familiarizing yourself with the associated terminology empowers you to better appreciate and utilize this iconic instrument. Whether you're strumming an acoustic ballad or shredding an electric solo, the intricate interplay of components within the guitar's anatomy contributes to its timeless allure and musical versatility. So, pick up your guitar, explore its anatomy, and embark on a musical journey filled with creativity and expression. Thank you for watching this video.